He can't let the master down. The Duke reminded Da Vinci. Once refused, there would be no second chance. Da Vinci stood by his decision. Watching Da Vinci receive praises, the helper was not happy. He was the most likely to become the top apprentice. Now, Da Vinci took his place. He had previously been dismissed for stealing paint. Unexpectedly, he returned and gained fame. The assistant acted once more. Da Vinci was stopped by a male model. The model wishes to share art tips with Da Vinci. The pair just got home. The aide gave the message to the judge. Da Vinci was arrested for improper conduct. Nina quickly brought drawing paper. Written on it was, "Don't be afraid." With the drawing paper, Da Vinci felt calmer. He began to draw for those around. Fortunately, there was a relative of a banker in the cell. He admired Da Vinci's work. He helped rescue Da Vinci, but the master wanted to take Da Vinci out of the studio. The master would not agree. A flawed person stays in the studio. Yet, Da Vinci's skill is clear. Yet, if he stays here, the master won't get any job. No matter how Da Vinci pleads, the master must consider the other workers here. Da Vinci was shown out. Just when Da Vinci felt hopeless, he got an invite from the banker to create a portrait for his marrying daughter. The ask was to show joy, but Lila's expression was filled with sorrow. This left Da Vinci in a bind. Nina pointed out the hard truth. "You are now out of the studio. You have a bad name. Finally got a second chance. Why does it have to create trouble?" Da Vinci, follows the employer's wishes. To thank Nina for her help along the way, Da Vinci found a nanny job. The next day, the rainman went to the employer's house. Da Vinci started her job. Things were harder than he imagined. Viola looked completely unhappy. Not even a trace of a smile. Whatever Da Vinci did, Viola remained cold. At that time, Da Vinci had no lessons, could only begin with the background. The next day, Da Vinci finally saw a smile on Viola. It turned out her friend Bernardo had come. He is the Duke of Milan's main inspector. Bernardo was attracted to Nina at first glance. Viola grew even happier. She smiled and ran over. Da Vinci captured this action. It looked like he was the one Viola wanted to marry. Eventually, Da Vinci finished. Viola was so thrilled by the painting, she couldn't speak. In the end, Da Vinci followed her heart. She captured Viola's true likeness. In the painting, Viola looked bright. In her hand was a leaf representing the Bernardo family. Seeing the painting, Viola finally smiled truly. But the banker was unhappy. Angry, he cut off the bottom part of the painting. He still wouldn't pay. Desperate, Leonardo had no choice but to seek help from his father. Leonardo was a true-born son. His father cast him aside. He was raised by his granddad. At Leonardo's request, his dad agreed to a workshop. This marked the arrival of his first client, a priest bid Leonardo to paint knights worshipping. He asked for a 1:1 copy of it. Leonardo agreed. He called upon his classmates to help. He added his own thoughts to the art. Later, the priest checked the work. Staring at the half-finished piece, the priest simply commented, "This is the worst thing I've ever seen." Then he walked away without looking back. This payment was dropped. Leonardo's father revealed his true feelings. Angrily, he said Leonardo was a blunder. "You're nothing but a worthless person," leaving a broken Leonardo in the wine. He returned home to find Mona packing her things. It turned out she had found a new home. Bernardo had fallen for her at first sight. He planned to take her to Milan. Leonardo forced a smile. For her peace of mind, claiming his artwork is impressive, and he will soon go to Milan. Da Vinci completed the remaining work alone. The aide came by. Admitting he had snitched on the master, he also framed Da Vinci. But Da Vinci already knew the truth. No one else would do such a thing except him. The aide truly apologized to Da Vinci, requesting to become his apprentice. He won't charge for school. Da Vinci's talent is the best reward. The rainman reached Milan. There are more soldiers here than women. It's hard for artists to survive. But Da Vinci had a plan. He pulled out military design plans, designing weaponry for the Duke of Milan. But he turned down the Duke. This time he came as an engineer. He revealed designs for a moving cannon, but the Duke gave him a chance to explain. He simply returned the papers, saying he don't need defenses. Da Vinci wanted to try again. What the Duke lacked was true artistry. And he could create works that amazed the world. Asking the Duke for one more chance, it would exceed all imaginations. Just then, the masked ball attendees arrived. Da Vinci didn't care. But he smiled politely. Didn't expect to see Luna here. This was his happiest moment lately. Duke Da Vinci designed a play to perform for their nephew. Reluctantly, Da Vinci agreed, but things were not going well. The male lab was not cooperating. Thinking Da Vinci could only design simple backgrounds, the words were light. Until he saw Da Vinci's engineering blueprint, that's when he grew intrigued by Da Vinci's talent. In the days to come, Da Vinci worked hard on sketches, but it was his first theater experience. He felt nervous inside. The male lad noticed Da Vinci's confusion, so he used a device. Da Vinci felt like he was flying. Da Vinci slowly spread his arms in the air, feeling the freedom. In this moment, he understood what the mallet meant. The play should mix reality and imagination. At that moment, he imagined himself as a bird soaring through the sky. In a moment, Da Vinci felt inspired. That day, he saw the steward and a man in a fine outfit. They're quietly scheming something. That night, someone stole Da Vinci's paints. His aide tells him this. Da Vinci is distracted. At that point, he is drawn to the lat's dinner. That moment lays the foundation for his future creations. Soon, the Duke holds a feast. The butler sprinkles food on the pot. This move is a clever 2-in-1. It can kill the Duke, and it can frame Da Vinci. The Duke keeps petting the pup. It seems innocuous, but during the talk, he sweats a lot. His breathing becomes labored. Da Vinci sees paint on the Duke's fingers. He soon understands the Duke is poisoned. Sure enough, the Duke collapses onto the floor. Da Vinci quickly has his team fetch antidotes. He mixes them together for the Duke to drink. Then the doctor examines him closely. Da Vinci waits outside. Nana steps up, worried for Da Vinci. If they can't catch the suspect, Da Vinci will be blamed. As she comforts Da Vinci, Bernardo happens to pass by and sees the scene. His own woman is comforting another man. He's suddenly filled with jealousy. After a night's treatment, the Duke returned from death's door. Just get some more rest. Seeing each other brings strong feelings. Bernardo asked Da Vinci in front of the Duke, how would a scholar know what the antidote is? Da Vinci was candid. Many paints used by artists are highly toxic. He studied their ingredients himself. That's why he could take immediate action. The Duke was thankful to him. He confirmed the play would go on as planned. Da Vinci addressed Bernardo's suspicions as well. He told him what he had observed. The butler had met with a man in boots. The boots had a gold emblem on them. On the play's day, Bernardo told Siena no more meetings with Da Vinci, otherwise return to Florence. Siena had to give in. The play moved along smoothly. Smoke rose in the venue. In flying mechanical sprites appeared. The audience clapped unconsciously. The performance continued until evening. Under the glow of light, flames added to the show. Finally, the last scene arrived. The lead actor came on stage. That's when Da Vinci noticed the one in gold was the lad. He was taken out by Bernardo right away. So, the lad faced loss, but the Duke remained calm. Turns out, this was by his design. The Duke spoke loudly to all. This is the fate of a traitor. The Duke had checked well. The lad and the butler schemed for power. The Duke crafted his words keenly, utilizing this play. He declared his authority to everyone. After the play, Duke Da Vinci designed a statue. He aimed to honor his father. Da Vinci summoned old classmates. But this task was new. Da Vinci felt stuck. There are too many grand horse statues in the world. Creating a unique design is incredibly challenging. Da Vinci could only start with horses. He went to the track to see the horses. He reached out to touch, to sense their body structure. Suddenly, the weather turned cloudy. A lightning bolt swept through. The horse responded with a knee. It reared up and let out a loud cry. This very scene sparked inspiration for Da Vinci. He hurried back to his study. He started jotting down the horse. He also made a big decision. The statue won't be marble. It will be made of clay and wood. Finally, it will be bronze. He aimed to create a unique statue. He instantly began working.